this podcast will fail. Mostly because nobody's going to listen to it. You might prove me wrong. Who knows? And welcome to episode 14. This podcast will fail. My name is Irrelevant. I'm just some guy, and I'm here to talk about 15 years of failure as a content creator. I have walked through those 15 years plus. Actually, I've dug all the way back to some of the creative things I did as a child and as a teenager, and some of the initial hopes and dreams I had growing up for what I was going to be and what I was going to do, and kind of walk through each professional and non-professional amateur hour project that I tried to do to get famous in one way or another. That never happened. So I've reached the point where I guess I can close out the last piece of this story, this season, this 15 years of failure. There are some other things about that period of time, this period of time, that I want to talk about, but I think I've hesitated long enough in telling the final piece of the story that rounds out what brought me to this podcast, and the acknowledgement that I'm making something basically for myself that I know nobody is going to listen to. And I am publishing it out in the world as almost an experiment to find out if I'm wrong, and see what happens when I don't put all of my time and energy into promoting and hyping and building and trying to get the word out and social media-ing and all of the other ings that come with trying to be a successful content creator. No, I'm recording a podcast, I'm making the content, and I'm putting it out there, and I have zero expectations that anybody will follow along, because I've broken my own heart enough times watching the things that I've tried to build fall flat on their faces and go nowhere. So anyways, let's get down to this last piece of the puzzle here, and the final project that just had me say enough is enough, and almost just about walk away completely. So this is 2019. It's the end of the year, and I am thinking about what I want to do next. I've got that creative itch again. Okay. Earlier in 2019, I had gone on a weight loss journey and documented it on YouTube, and written a book, and none of that went anywhere. I even tried to set up like a consulting business around being a keto coach. No, not even the faintest tickle of interest. So it's the end of 2019. I'm like, okay, whatever. That was a flop, as usual. What did I expect? And I was just trying to think of what it was that I wanted to do next. Now, within the course of my own social media, I started seeing posts from a little bit of a, I guess you could say, a B-list celebrity guy. And you know, as much as I'm keeping my own name anonymous in this, I'm not going to tell you who he was either. But I saw what this person was doing in the creative space, and I thought this was cool as hell. And he was creating something that was drawing in other creatives and getting people involved in making stuff. And I thought, damn, that's cool. And I got my own piece of involvement in it too, and kind of put my stuff in front of people in this space that this guy was creating. And I just, it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't, again, I wasn't seeing any reaction to what I was doing. And, you know, I kind of put it on him. And I thought to myself, what's missing here? What's wrong? And the thing that I saw that was wrong was that it had grown to such a scale. There were just far, far, far too many people in the pot. It was just a cacophony of voices, of creators that were all cramming into the same spots. And it just was noise, and there was really very little opportunity to get noticed in any way. Well, then I thought to myself, well, hell, I can do that. If you are just starting this podcast on this episode, I'll let you know that way back in episode 2 and 3, I think, I talked about how I've had this driving force in my creative life for so long now that says, when I see something really cool and it catches my attention and it gets my interest, I inevitably end up saying to myself, I can do that. I can do that, and I can do it better. I can totally do that. So yeah, I'm going to do that. That's what I want to do. So here we go. Set about this time. First of all, it was at the end of 2019. I spent a lot of time in my own head conceptualizing and visualizing how I would do it, and thinking, you know, what I could do is fine tune this idea of community collaboration and community involvement to just YouTube creators, because those are the people I know. Those are the relationships I've built. Those are the associations I have. And hey, you know what? I mean, for crying out loud, I'm in my Facebook life. Yeah, I'm that old that I use Facebook a lot. I'm an admin in a YouTube community of over 10,000 people. These are all small creators, people who have YouTube channels anywhere from 0 to 50 to 100 to a couple hundred to 1,000 to a couple thousand. But really, that's about it. YouTube channels, subscribers. These are not big channels. These are not famous or yet successful people. And I've known a few that have managed to take off, and I'll actually talk about those guys and girls in a future episode. But I thought, you know, this community is ripe for what I'm about to do, and I could get people involved, because the big thing about small YouTube creators is they want attention, right? That's what we wanted. That's what I always wanted. You want eyeballs on your work. You want people to know your name. That's the whole damn reason. And I'll side note for a moment that I get really annoyed when I see people play this stupid mental game with themselves of, no, I'm an artist. It's not about the following. It's not about the clicks and view. Bullshit. You know as well as I do that you're not making this content. You're not turning on your camera and standing there going, "What's up, guys?" because you don't care if anybody watches. Bull. I don't buy it. I know better. And too many of them are too young and too stupid to just own up and admit to it. That's the truth. That's what I feel. So I thought, I can do this differently. I can take this idea that I saw from this celebrity, and I can build something around it and make it cooler and make it better and get names and faces and get people to know who the hell I am. Because what I wanted to do was build like a digital playground for these small YouTube creators to jump in, get together, make connections, and work on cool collaborative projects together. That's what I was going to do. So now we're into the very beginnings of 2020, just before the world lost its mind to a novel coronavirus. And everything shut right the hell down. I was building a website. That was the thought. It wasn't necessarily going to be so much about a YouTube channel, but it was going to be based on a website. Now, I've had some experience with building websites way back when, in the mid 2000s, building WordPress websites, building them on, different platforms and coding and making cool stuff happen. And so I set to work trying to figure out how I was going to build this website where people could come and sign up, woohoo, and build a community that would generate activity. See, this is where it all goes. Okay. Problem number one is the whole premise was based on building this digital playground because I wanted it to be a business. That is really the absolute linchpin that was pulled by me every single time, and watch the remaining trade cars fall behind. Watch the engine steam forward without me because I pulled the damn linchpin again. And that is that I kept insisting that everything I do needed to be a money-making business in some way, shape, or form or fashion. So I thought, yeah, build a website. Because then they'll come and I'll have their views and their clicks on the website. And if I have views and clicks on the website, then I can have ads. And banner ads pay for views and clicks, and I can have, here we go, watch this, affiliate marketing. Oh boy, because every single quote unquote successful creator that I talk to, and I talk to a few of them, just immediately goes down the path of monetize. YouTube's going to screw you on ad revenue, so you need to be thinking about everything from merchandise to affiliate marketing to sponsorships and every other damn thing. And that was where I was like, yeah, I know that I can bring them in. I know that I can get them on board. It's a lock, man. This is easy money. I know small YouTubers. I know how they think. So I'm going to build something that they can't freaking resist. I'll tell you that I spent nearly 2 months building and coding this goddamn website. And it was beautiful. It was slick. It was gorgeous. It had everything you could want. It had its own godforsaken fake Facebook community profile system within the website. You could sign up, get a username, man, get your avatar uploaded. Here you go. Now you've got a wall. You can friend request people. You can build your community. Here's some community forums. Look over here. Come to this spot here. Hey, here's this spot for the site owner. Oh my gosh, everybody. What's up, guys? Pay attention because I got something cool for you. I built it from frickin' scratch, right? Every single night after dinner, after the kids are in bed, I'm sitting up, banging away on the keyboard, pouring every ounce of effort and thought, and just, oh my God, it was like squeezing juice from a rock, man. It was a lot of time. It was a lot of effort. There was a lot of heart and soul that went into building this thing. And when I was done, and when I thought it was right, and I thought it looked perfect, and it's, man, this is clean, this is ready to roll, I stopped. And I said, okay, hold on. I gotta get some fresh eyeballs on this thing, right? I gotta get some almost like focus group kind of feedback, because I need to know that I'm not fooling myself in some way. So I began to reach out to some of my closer friends and associations that I have through YouTube. These friends and acquaintances that I've made, the ones that I'm a little bit closer with, right? I mentioned a couple of these folks way back when in earlier episodes, and so I reached out to them all privately, individually, and said, hey, do you have a couple minutes? I want to talk to you about what I'm working on. I want to get your thoughts. You know, I want to see what you think of this project I'm about to launch and the premise, and I want to know on first glance your impressions. What do you think of it? What do you think will work? What do you think won't work? And I reached out to a total of, let me think about this for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think four people. And actually, that reminds me that I had this idea in my head that these 4 people who have their own, not just creative lives, their own freaking lives, doing their thing. And in the meantime, deciding what they want to do creatively in their own space, because everybody's got their own niche and not everybody does what I do. I don't do what anybody else does. And I was rather assumptive about it. I made a clear mistake of assuming that these people would immediately just say yes and jump in and be a part of this great thing that I was trying to build. These people were going to be my council of elders. That was literally what I was thinking about them in my head. And they would act as judges, and they would be, oh my God, they're going to be on board and they'll be involved. And well, one of them expressed some particular and significant interest. One. And, you know, he's busy with his own thing. And honestly, he, at the time, I think was a little pissed with me because I was flagging on contributing content that I owed him, that I committed to him, that I said, yeah, man, no, I'll do your thing. I'll be in your project. Yeah, absolutely. I failed him. I straight out failed him. And I don't blame him in the least bit for kind of backing off. And frankly, I haven't really talked to him since. And that's squarely on me. That's 100% on me. Another one is a very busy business owner. He's my podcast guy on the other side of the world. He's got his own shit to worry about. He's got his own life to live and his own problems to deal with. And I knew he didn't have the time. And he gave me some feedback, and he really did come through in terms of giving me some thoughts on the website. Because he's a professional. He knows what he's doing. Third guy, I thought was going to be on board. He seemed really excited, and actually had him design the logo because he's also kind of a professional designer, and he provided me that. And I was super grateful. And I thought that he was going to be more interested and play a bigger part. And after that initial conversation and after paying him for the logo, never heard from him again. Got his own thing. He's busy. Making his own channel, working his own content. Didn't have time to take out of his life to work for me, obviously. And then finally, the last one, guy number 4, I don't know, man. It was crickets. You know, this is a guy that I respect a lot, that has been extremely nice to me, has been kind, is a great person, and I don't think he had the least bit of interest in what I was working on. I think it didn't grab him in any way, shape, or form, and it was like I could almost feel sort of the discomfort he had in even wanting to venture, that he thought, yeah, no, that could be cool, I guess. I should have seen that as more of a signpost that this thing was not going where I wanted it to go. But I built this website. I spent 2 months building it. I got all this quasi feedback, and I was ready to go, ready to launch. But still confident, still thinking I have this damn thing on lock. I can't fail. I've got the social media set up. I've got everything planned out perfectly. I know the marketing campaign. I know where the audience is. I know how I'm going to capture that audience. I know what I'm going to give them. There's a longer story, and there's definitely a part 2, I guess, now that I look at the fact that I'm running up on my own self-imposed 20-minute limit here. So I guess I will say that this is part 1 of my own personal endgame when it comes to 15 years of failure, the capstone on the whole thing for me. So I will discuss that tomorrow. If anybody's still here, thanks. Tune back in, I guess. Not that you will. But I will finish this story in tomorrow's podcast. Thanks for your time. Have a good one. Don't forget to come back, even though you're not here. Ugh.